yet understand that whatsoever entereth in at the mouth goeth into the belly, and it's cast out unto the draught. But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, lusts, false witness, blasphemies. These are the things which defile a man, but to eat with unwashen hands defile not a man.
What things do we put into our bodies that are healthy? What about dirt? No, you wouldn't eat dirt. What about raw fish? No, you would have to cook it first. What about an apple? How about a carrot? What about strawberries? Why are we careful about what we put into our mouths? Pause the video while you discuss this question. Based on what Jesus taught in the verses that Taysom read, we should be even more careful about what comes out of our mouths and out of our hearts. President Nilsson taught us a great lesson on the importance of being careful about how we talk to and about others. He taught us the proper way to treat those that we interact with every day. As you listen, think of ways that you can add to what President Nilsson said and how you treat others as individuals and a family.
Never to throw anything in anger, whether it be scalpels or words. I find myself wondering if the contaminated scalpel that landed in my arm was any more toxic than the venomous contention that infects our civic dialogue and too many personal relationships today. Vulgarity, fault-finding, and evil speaking of others are all too common. Anger never persuades. Hostility builds no one. Contention never leads to inspired solutions. As disciples of Jesus Christ, we are to be examples of how to interact with others, especially when we have differences of opinion. One of the easiest ways to identify a true follower of Jesus Christ is how compassionately that person treats other people. The Savior made this clear in his sermon to followers in both hemispheres. Love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you. And pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. End quote. The Savior's message is clear. His true disciples build, lift, encourage, persuade, and inspire, no matter how difficult the situation. True disciples of Jesus Christ are peacemakers. One of the best ways we can honor the Savior is to become a peacemaker. Those who foster contention are taking a page out of Satan's playbook, whether they realize it or not. We cannot support Satan with our verbal assaults and then think that we can still serve God. My dear brothers and sisters, how we treat each other really matters. How we speak to and about others, at home, at church, at work, and online, really matters. If there is anything virtuous, lovely, or of good report or praiseworthy that we can say about another person, whether to his face or behind her back, that should be our standard of communication. Contention is a choice. Peacemaking is a choice. Charity is the antidote to contention. Charity is the spiritual gift that helps us to cast off the natural man. who is selfish, defensive, prideful, and jealous. Charity is the principal characteristic of a true follower of Jesus Christ. Charity defines a peacemaker. When we humble ourselves before God and pray with all the energy of our hearts, God will grant us charity. Brothers and sisters, the pure love of Christ is the answer to the contention that ails us today. In situations that are highly charged and filled with contention, I invite you to remember Jesus Christ. Pray to have the courage and wisdom to say or do what he would. Now is the time to lay aside bitterness. Now is the time to cease insisting that it is your way or no way. Now is the time to stop doing things that make others walk on eggshells for fear of upsetting you. Now is the time to bury your weapons of war. If your verbal arsenal is filled with insults and accusations, now is the time to put them away. Note that we also rebuke the adversary every time we heal a misunderstanding or refuse to take offense. Instead, we can show the tender mercy that is characteristic of true disciples of Jesus Christ. Peacemakers thwart the adversary. Let us show that there is a peaceful and respectful way to resolve complex issues and an enlightened way to work out disagreements. There is no room for prejudice, condemnation, or contention of any kind. Replace belligerence with beseeching, animosity with understanding, and contention with peace.
For the lesson plan, check out our blog in the description below.